Redditors in healthcare, what is something you never thought you would have to tell another grown-ass human? No, I cannot tell the race of your baby on ultrasound. You'll have to wait until birth to have an awkward conversation with one of your boyfriends. Pretty frequently have to explain to patients that they can't have metal in / on their bodies during an MRI, even if the jewelry / whatever is on a different part of their body than what is being imaged. But I'm only getting an MRI of my foot. Why do I have to take my earrings out? Because the magnet affects the entire room, and it will rip your earrings out and throw them around the room. Also, people who have pacemakers who are pissed off when we don't let them have an MRI, because they think it won't be any big deal. Sorry, I know you really want the best possible imaging for your back pain, but we really don't want to kill you to get it. Really, doctors need to be screening their patients for things like that before scheduling them for an MRI, but you'd be shocked how much it happens. I know you are trying to help, but you don't do CPR on someone who is actively telling you to stop between compressions. Why showering regularly is important. I am a home health physical therapist. It wasn't till I started using Reddit that I discovered just how many people don't realize you have to wash your ass. The water trucking down during the shower isn't enough. Paramedic here. I had a PT once who was complaining of being unable to sleep. He's telling me all these different things he's been trying in order to sleep. You know, basic things like counting backward, counting sheep, melatonin, NyQuil, Benadryl, Zequil, warm milk, alcohol, weed, and meth. This has been going on for about 2 weeks. Wait a minute, meth? So I proceed to ask how long they've been on meth. I started like 2 weeks ago when my GF showed me. At this point I thought this 47-year-old man would catch on, but nope, not even a flicker of a light bulb. So I say to him, you realize meth can cause insomnia? It was as though I removed the bottle of stupid juice he was drinking, and opened up a can of Acme knowledge, because he responded, oh my god, that makes so much sense, cause I was even smoking meth to try and sleep. Yeah, this productive member of society went straight to the waiting room. And #X200B, children's oral antibiotics prescribed for ear infections, which are usually pink, sweet, fruit-flavored liquids, are meant to be delivered into the mouth and not directly into the ear canal. Yes, this happens more often than you can imagine. I can believe it. Been in pharmacy for 9 years now, and for the past few, counseling with the pharmacist is mandatory on all new prescriptions. People will throw an absolute fit about how they don't need to talk to the pharmacist and know what the hell they're doing. Pharmacist, okay, humor me. Walk me through how to use this medicine. They've stopped so many people from putting amoxicillin in their kids' ears/eyes, swallowing suppositories, eating Miralax powder dry, shoving birth control into their vaginas. I don't want to go on. Yes, you smoking in your house is likely making your kids' asthma worse. My mother-in-law went off on me for giving my 12-year-old brother-in-law ice cream after dark. But he has asthma. You'll give him an attack. Cut to 5 minutes later, we're all in the living room and 2 people are smoking. Yes, it's the ice cream. Don't hide bottles of 5-hour energy in your vagina. Editing to add a few details, since some of you have linked the Tifu story, which is not my patient, till this has happened more than once. My PT came in with a complaint of vaginal foreign body. Doc goes in to do the pelvic exam, pulls out unopened, sealed bottle of 5-hour energy. Cue her explanation of hiding it from her spouse because he doesn't like for her to drink energy drinks. And she asks for it back so she can drink it. It's not a pocket. Don't douche with bleach. Okay, edit, because you guys blew me up overnight. Patient had mixed bleach, fabric softener, Dawn dish soap, vinegar, and some water, just in case, and burned the bejesus out of herself after having a baby 3 weeks prior because she was convinced people could smell her. She douched with it multiple times and came in when the burning toned down. Sent off to gynecological surgeon and never seen again. Sex makes babies. Okay, so maybe not as succinct. You would be shocked at the number of calls related to abdominal pain turn out to be pregnancy even after asking the patient if there is any chance they are pregnant and they answer no. Edit, I'm interested in hearing how other professionals handle this question with a parent of the patient in the room. Not sure I've ever had a teen girl answer yes while a parent or guardian was there. I was having chronic stomach pain and my doc asked if I could be pregnant. Not having had sex in literally over a year, I said no, not unless I was an elephant. We laugh and he says, listen, I want to do a pregnancy test. You could be a nun sitting here in a habit, and I'd still want to do a pregnancy test. I said sure thing doc, I'll pee in the cup. Zero offense taken. People lie and are stupid. I've told this story on Reddit before. I think I'll keep it short and concise. Older man, terminally ill. New Year's Eve. Presented to the ER in the company of a hooker. He had a finishing nail in his erect penis. He was into penile sounding. He says, well, there was nothing else laying round. And I'm so fucked up and can't feel a thing. Indeed, he was fucked up. Cocaine, alcohol, and Viagra and some hydrocodone. Poor dude just wanted one last rager. I told him, wood is just a euphemism, man. Don't shove sharp things up your pee hole. Took it in stride. He was in the hospital for 2 days. The hooker basically stayed with him the entire time. Come to find out, she was only one of the 3 hookers he had paid. She wasn't even the one who shoved the nail up there. I thought it odd that she hung around until he told me how much he had paid them. Turns out the other 2 were hanging out at his house waiting for his return. Visited him before he was discharged. Dude popped some X right in front me and says, just getting a head start. No more sharp shit. I promise, doc. I worked in hospital administration for nearly 2 years. While working on something I decided to take a break and go down to the cafeteria to get something to eat and not look at number. While there, a woman was on the phone with someone and was pretty openly talking about how she kept drinking the night before surgeries to calm her nerves and how she thought it was ridiculous that the doctors couldn't/wouldn't just pump her stomach so they could get the surgery started. Now I don't know all of the details on what she was getting done, nor was I there for her presumed tirade on our doctors as she was prepped for whatever it is she needed done, but I am grateful I wasn't. She continued this conversation for probably a minute with her friend completely oblivious to how ridiculous she sounded. I was waiting to get my colonoscopy done a couple of years ago and they were asking the lady in the next station if she'd fasted. They went through all the questions and double-checked that she had fasted, then after confirming, almost as an aside she throws in that she had oatmeal for breakfast that morning. Nurse, mom, fasting means you can't eat anything before the exam. Lady, I know. But I always have oatmeal for breakfast. Nurse, I understand. But you can't eat before this exam. The doctor has to look at your digestive system. Lady, but oatmeal is good for digestion. Nurse, you can't eat anything before this exam. You have to be completely fasted so he can look at your intestines. Lady, but I always have oatmeal for breakfast. Don't lick your contact lenses to clean them. Seriously. I work in health information management currently. I get to explain to parents that even though they are biological I still can't share information about your adult kid about a half dozen times a day. Edit, I'm glad there's others out there who feel my pain. I talk about releases of information so much over the course of one day that every day feels the same. Almost like Groundhog Day. Edit 2, I'm going to take this chance to remind all of you to complete a ROI for your significant other, even if married. Also any consents your kids may need to have so bring them in. Nurse here. I have to explain daily to patients that they can't eat before an operation. They're always saying things like, but if I ate and had an accident wouldn't they operate on me? I have to explain that in case of life and death situations the doctor takes some risks, but why risk during an routine operation? I worked in obstetrics for many years. I was taking care of a woman in her late 20s, definitely not a teen mom, married, with a job. She got to 10 centimeters so I did my usual speech about how to push effectively. She nods and pushes when I tell her and she did great, really moved the baby down. I'm excited but I notice she's whispering to her husband. He looks at me and says, so why do you want her to do that? I was a bit taken aback and very slowly explained that she had to get the baby out. She asked if I was kidding. At this point I feel like I'm the butt of a practical joke, but it didn't stop. Kept asking if there wasn't a better way to do it and muttering that I was being ridiculous. She continued to push and thankfully didn't take long because she kept rolling her eyes at me. I was thrilled to hand this lovely couple off to the doctor. They looked slightly more convinced when he told her to do exactly what I had told her to do, and then a baby magically appeared. If she'd ended up in a C-section, I'm sure she'd have been convinced I had done it all to torture her. How does a woman make it into adulthood in normal society without knowing you have to push a baby out? Then there was the time a woman got mad when I told her there was absolutely no way we could do her cesarean laparoscopically. Literally every show/movie that depicts women giving birth has this exchange. A few minutes off. Nurse, push. Push. Pregnant lady, I can't push anymore. Nurse/boyfriend/whoever, yes you can. One more push. Baby, wah-ah-ah. No, your teenaged daughters cannot share a single prescription for birth control pills. You need to wash your hands. Don't fuck your wife's colostomy hole. Usually goes along with after a car accident and their kids weren't in car seats/seatbelts. How their kids need to be in fucking car seats. But it's summer, so a more seasonal example is the following. Me, so what's the problem today? I don't know what's going on. I can't breath. I'm having a seizure. Me, yeah, usually when I smoke crystal meth. Me, did you smoke crystal meth today? Yeah, like 30 minutes ago. Why? Me. Seasonal example? Yes, the season of crystal meth. I took care of a paraplegic as a home health RN. She was young, and she was attractive. She lived with her boyfriend and kept getting UTIs. This isn't uncommon. She had a catheter, and it's something that can be very hard for this population. Well, this patient was talking to me about her sex life and told me her boyfriend liked anal. She has no feeling below the waist. Then it hit me. I asked if he's going from anal to vaginal. She said she wasn't sure. So I went and asked him. I had to tell them both that is probably what is causing her UTIs. I can't go from anal to vaginal. So, that's what I charted. Patient education was that day. I had to call her urologist and primary care to let them know we probably found the issue. We all tried to be professional, but there was lots of awkward laughing. Patient had been referred to my pharmacy by his physician for an OTC enema. The guy was not the sharpest tack, and apparently either his physician did not explain it well or the guy didn't listen, but our conversation went like this. PT, me, no sir, this is an enema. It is used rectally. PT, me, no sir, you'll lie on your side and insert the applicator tip of the bottle into your rectum and squeeze the contents into your bowel. You'll then remain lying on your side and hold the enema in until you feel the urge to have a bowel movement. PT, me, yes sir, this is an enema and it is used rectally. There are detailed instructions and diagrams in the box. PT, fuck you. And he stormed off. That was the last I saw of him. Not sure if he thought I was messing with him or what, but I hope he eventually got to shit. Well, conversely, when I got the prep stuff for my colonoscopy, the pharmacist made it a point to tell me several times that it was an oral medication and not a suppository. I can only imagine what precipitated that one. Worked in an optical practice in the UK. Man comes in complaining of bad vision. His astigmatism has increased by like 3 diopters. That's a fuckload and definitely shouldn't happen. Optician retested using different kit. Same result. Told him to come back in a week and we will retest it. This time we're looking at 4 diopters. They freak out. Recheck again. Another optician checks it. Same result. They run through health, smoking, drinking, medicine. Nothing out of the ordinary. The guy looks stressed as shit, put his head in his hands and put his thumbs against the side of his eyes. The optician asks if he does that a lot. Apparently whenever he's stressed he pushes the sides of his eyes. He's done it so much that he has physically changed the front of his eyeball and ruined his vision. We told him to stop doing that. Never thought we'd have to tell another human being to not squeeze their own eyeballs. Also had to tell a kid to not look at laser pointers, but he was just dumb as shit. I don't know how much pressure is required to create this problem, but now I am paranoid about rubbing my eyes.